it is, of course,
Right.
China. China is obviously, it hit the ground running. See, what happened
Yes.
was that whereas the entire rest of the car industry, when this whole EV thing came along, people thought, okay, it's a simple case of you take the engine out and you put a battery in. It's not that simple. It's goes back to fundamentals. You literally have to redesign cars from the ground up again, and then you have to redesign your entire infrastructure, your research, development, your production, everything. So for legacy car makers, suddenly that was a massive, massive pivot to be able to do in a very, very short time. And they just didn't have the investment, they didn't have the
Right.
facilities, and it meant losing jobs, it meant losing factories. They just can't do it. For those juggernauts to switch lanes like that is almost impossible. And they're doing it, but they're doing it they're literally eking across into the next lane. China, of course, didn't actually have a car industry until like 15, 20 years ago. And then
Right.
suddenly they had a car industry. So they were right at the beginning of what they were doing. And they were like, oh, we think this EV thing is going to take off. So they thought, well, let's just go down the electrification route from day dot. And I think that's what's really helped them. They've hit the ground running. They were ahead of everybody else. The cars are progressing at an exponential rate. The technology is all coming out of China. All the refinement for the batteries, the battery production is all happening in China anyway. So even all the other electric cars around the world, they are sourcing their components from China even now. So the reality is, and all these new brands are coming out there. So the reality is that the landscape of automotive manufacturing will look very, very different in 2035. And the brands that we know and love today, I would be surprised if they all survive by 2035. I think we might have remnants of them, or they might become part of other Chinese companies or what have you.
Right.
So I think in future we'll all be driving. Many of us will be driving EVs, and many of those will be Chinese.